Hi guys, today we're going to turn these vases and pots into an old age look. So stick around with me and you can see it turn from this into this. Okay, to get started we're going to sand down the plastic in order to help the paint stick. Followed by piercing a hole into the plastic by using a heated nail. Please be careful not to burn yourself in this process. Next we will cut the wire to size for the handles and stick them into the holes that we made. After that we will roll out some air drying clay and apply it to the wire. Later I realised it'd be easier to roll out the clay and then stick the wire through it rather than applying the clay to the wire, but it's okay, both ways work. I then rubbed some water on it to help smoothen it out. And I applied the same process on the rim of our pot, making sure to also press down on the inside to help it stick better. Once that was done, I put it aside, and while that was drying I got started on painting our other pots and vases. I mixed 2 parts paint and 1 part bicarbonate soda to help give the paint some texture, which you can play around with to try and get a texture that you're happy with. So basically we're just going to keep adding layers until you get kind of a look you want. I also found it helped to dab down the paint with a sponge every now and then. I really felt that a sponge helped to blend the colours together and give it a nice shade. And here's the results of our first vase. I think I'm going to add a little bit of black to the cream mixture to try and get more of a stone colour. This is starting to look good, but we dollop. We're going to mix it together. Okay, so we've got our mud mixture here and then we've got some coffee here. They're 2 different colours and completely different textures. So we're going to start with the brightest one so we can really see the contrast. Do expect this to be a dirty process. Don't expect to come out of it clean. Do expect some nice phases at the end. Here I was using soil from my houseplants and the coffee is Nestle coffee, I believe. I think it's more natural looking obviously than this, but this is a nice tone. I don't know, let me know, what do you think? This is when the mud is dried. It just has a much more natural look to it. And I don't know, maybe I'll give the coffee another try. I added water to the coffee and found it went on a lot easier this way and had a really nice warm tone to it. And a little tip, I found that using the hairdryer helps to dry it all a little quicker. I then started applying the coffee and the dirt mixture together, and actually I was really happy with how this was starting to look until I decided that I actually didn't want to have such a warm tone. So I started again. This time I tried using dirt from the ground and I found it went on a lot smoother and had a much nicer colour to it, rather than using the soil that was in my pots. Once finished, I made sure to give every phase a clear coat of spray to help protect it. And here's the results of this one. I'm so happy with how this one turned out. For my next 2 vases, I wanted to do a warm copper patina, something like these were my inspiration. And so I got started by applying a few different copper tones to them, followed by some green and blues, which I dabbed on. I also had some faux copper leaf lying around, so I added just a little bit of that. And then I sprayed a bit of vinegar onto the paint and then dabbed the sponge back over again just to kind of help give it a more old, worn, tired look. And now that our final pot is dried, we can get started. You can see some cracks here, which I'm going to fill in with some universal glue. And next we will add some paint and work on building a textured stone kind of look. First I used a brush, followed by using a sponge. And for the last layer I used a darker tone on the top and the bottom in order to try and help create a more round look. And it was at this point when I decided I didn't like the handles and I wanted to change them up, so I went for smaller handles in the end. And then I also added on some rope in order to help really create that more, you know, authentic old pot look. For the dirt, I used some dry dirt from the ground and some wet dirt from the ground, and I blended these together using my hand. And guys, here is the final result of the last pot. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It's such a difference. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.